And we're live. Greetings and salutations. I'm Moonthorpe, Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and you are listening to Eldritch Rants, the show that dares to ask the question, why do they call it a building if it's been already built? The answer to this question and many more will be answered by our panel of experts, including Forbidium, who never met a scaffolding he didn't like, Gwendywook, who is the original contractor on the Death Star, and of course he is the Baron of Bather, and he's got a black belt and bullshit and blah 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 blah. Yo, Farty, what's up? How we doing this week? Been an interesting week all around everywhere. Hey, anybody wanted to start off in anything particular, or we just go down the list as usual?
I mean, I could tell you the story of how my storm door broke.
If you wish to, yes, feel free.
That sounds interesting.
Okay. So
I am intrigued.
Okay. So my downstairs neighbors currently don't have any gas, so they don't have any hot water in their house right now, okay? And we've been letting them use our shower upstairs because we have, hot water still, so it's whatever. And they were coming upstairs the other day with their baby to come in, get clean. And the other neighbors have a dog. Now, the dog's a 1.5 old pit bull. Very, very sweet, but for some motherfucking reason, this dog does not like the male downstairs neighbor. So as they were coming into my apartment last night, the dog fucking charges at him, right? Like, it just legitimately just charges at him. And he ran so hard at him, he was able to get into my house, that the dog ran into my storm door and smashed the metal framing. So this little piece of, sheet metal that's on the bottom part of the storm door, got pushed off. He ran that hard at my fucking neighbor, and we're all freaking out because he was holding the baby. And I'm sitting there wigging the fuck out and shit. And then the other neighbor who owns the dog comes out, and he's sitting there like, oh man, he shouldn't be charging. Just punch him in the head. Punching your dog? Who punches a dog? What the fuck is this shit? And so I go to fucking shut the door.
I'm sorry.
I'm dead punching the dog, and I'm like, no.
Why for you kick my dog and call him fucker?
Fortunately, you're an astro droid, and you can fix the door.
Well, I mean, God damn it. Thankfully, I was able to get the metal part back bent enough on the frame that it's really not that big of a deal. And I go to shut the door, and all of a sudden, I heard this squeal that I swear to God sounded like a fucking pig. And I'm like, what is that? And I realized that the neighbor's fucking beating his dog. And I'm like, oh no, this is not.
I love how she's roboing. It's incredible. You are roboing so bad. What'd you do next, R2?
Fuck off.
Quick, R2, shut down the garbage compactors on the detention line.
Oh my god, I hate you guys so much right now. I have full bars.
Hate your fucking carrier.
I have full bars.
Well, then obviously it's on our end. Okay. Well, I did a quick adjustment to try and fix it and cut down the bandwidth, so hopefully it'll work better from here. Okay. Well, I want to start off with, actually, because I don't have an article for it, Article 13 and 11. Everybody familiar with it?
That's the internet shit over in Europe.
That's right, R2. Yeah, basically it's already past preliminaries over there. So Article 13, which is the actual provider, your ISP provider is the one responsible for everything you upload. And they feel free to find these people left, right, and center. And also taxing anybody who makes a direct link to a news article. So Google, if they want to link to a news site, has to pay the EU or somebody. I don't know. It's pretty stupid when you actually read it. It's basically like putting a tax on everything on the internet. And I don't know if you know. Yes, I agree with you. They definitely need to be set on fire, R2. Anyway. No, I don't think you can do that with an electric prod.
Oh my god.
At any rate,
Sorry, Gwen. I'm so sorry, Gwen.
the big news is that Sargon of Akkad, was it Paul Watson, some third guy, think Dankula, all joined UKIP. And they are declaring meme jihad. Yeah, they're declaring meme. Oh, go ahead.
That's some other guy, that other bloke, you mean Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh, Milo joined too? Oh, wow. So we got the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse now.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was fucking funny. I've seen this pretty much doing it myself too. It's kind of like, this situation is so fucking ridiculous. You know what? I'm going to do this. How do you fucking like that? Now you got me doing this. Are you fucking happy now? That's pretty much the way it's going.
Yeah, there's just, I don't know. I don't know if they can stop it, but they've definitely started to pull out all the shots. So I'm thinking it's time I think we're actually in the next phase of the Great Meme War. Everybody thought the Great Meme War ended back in 2016, but I think it just took a lull. You know, I don't think we're actually in World Meme War 2 yet. I think it's still the same Great Meme War.
No. We haven't seen nothing yet to the meme where it's got Bill Clinton with a cup of Hillary's tears. A meme with that, where he's drinking a cup of Hillary's tears or something like that.
No, I'm talking about the Great Culture War. Basically, I mean, I've heard it put this way, that we're in the middle of a cold civil war in America, and I'm starting to think that's the case, but if it's a cold civil war here, it's definitely heating up in Europe. I mean, you don't basically say you can't put a link on your own blog page to a news article without paying them. Like, not even I'm accessing the article, I'm just making a direct link to an article.
Well, how did they enforce these payments, though?
They arrest you.
All right, I'd like to see that happen.
Well, it's Europe. They're getting pretty good at it. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people they've tossed in jail in the UK, and the UK is trying to leave the EU.
Yeah, but fucking cops are people too, and like they'll break this law as well. So what's going to happen when you have to arrest all the bloody cops?
Oh, you don't arrest your friends. You only arrest your political enemies and ignore anybody you like who's doing what you want. It's going to be selectively enforced. That's the answer.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not going to bother fucking Fred Blogs, who's just fucking linking a news story to his mate on Facebook.
Until he does.
Until they're going to kick his door down for that, because even the cops do that shit.
But at the point where he starts to actually gain a following and he starts saying things that the people in power don't like, that's when they're going to go and say, oh, we missed all these times you did these links in the past, and now we're going to hit you with a fine.
Just on that, I can see that there might be a bit of a conundrum and a fault with this, because a lot of police forces are utilising bloody Facebook and stuff like that as well, and like in England and in the EU, and they're utilising news stories and stuff like that to publicise events like, say for instance a child going missing, or an accident or something like that. But so when these people start saying, right, we'll pay up to the police forces, and the police forces go, no, get fucked, it's a part of the community safety and shit, and they go, well, fine, we'll have you arrested, and they'll go, yeah, well, who are you going to get to do that, smart ass?
But yeah, it's going to be selective. It's going to be selective. It's only going to be enforced against those people they want to intimidate and get rid of.
But that would also set precedent too. I mean, like if it's only going to be selective for some, then it's always going to be the case that those who are going to get prosecuted are going to go, well, look at all of these circumstances where other people are doing the same thing and they're not being prosecuted or punished for it. Therefore, the courts should, by rights, have to let that person go.
Here in America, I don't know about the EU, but I'll tell you, here in the United States, that doesn't work. They've tried that. The court just goes, just because they're inefficient about enforcing the law on other people does not excuse you for breaking it. That's the reasoning, and it really is just an excuse for being selective. So, but
you would be able to argue bastardization. Say, for instance, like just for argument's sake, copyright law, for example, right? You're, fucking Jimmy Smith. You're a 15-year-old and you downloaded fucking an episode of The Wiggles, for example, and then you get bloody arrested and hauled over the coals for the copyright and all that kind of stuff. And you prove that a larger organisation is doing this on a mass scale and all this. So why are you bothering all of this effort and all of this for Jimmy, who for half an hour probably cost all up maybe about $13?
They've already tried this out in Spain, and the result is the big, large international corporations that do this get a free license. They get a free license to do it, and there's no free license for you.
One pertinent little thing there where you said Spain. Remember, I keep referring to dumb wog bastards.
I'm
talking about places in the world where you can actually think straight.
It's past that in the EU. This doesn't apply to the rest of the planet. This applies to the EU. Whether or not they're going to be coming after you in Australia or me in the United States, mine's already dealt with that. Where the EU kind of went after them and they laughed in their face.
But as an individual, you could show their stupidity basically by all the effort, all this kind of stuff to go a private individual for a small infraction, when you can prove beyond shadow of a doubt that larger entities are doing it on a mass scale and more overtly, and the police have basically turned a blind eye to the thing that's out in public and just decided to, this nondescript person who's not doing nothing and will never hurt anybody.
And considering that this law basically does not allow anybody who isn't an official newspaper or anybody to ever put out an article on their own, it shuts down any blog they don't like. How is anybody going to hear about this?
Well, I'd love to see.
I understand you're talking about people with morality. I'm sorry, but you're dealing with people who have none.
I'd love to see. I'd love to see how Channel 7's gonna work with this too, because their online fucking site, basically half the stories are ads now, and then the other half of the stories are shit like BuzzFeed articles and whatnot. So,
I don't know how it's going to go down, but I know that if they pass the rules finally, it's going to be tough. But I don't know if the EU can enforce it. And what I'm actually hoping is, if they actually do this, it might be that final kick in the teeth that takes the EU down. Because they're ticking off a lot of people. They're attacking openly Silicon Valley, flat out. Because basically they're saying, why shouldn't we be able to, protect democracy by taking away choice and centralizing authority? What? But that's pretty much the argument right now. At any rate, speaking of people who want to centralized authority, shall we move on to Alexandria? I can't even pronounce her last name correctly. Something Cortez?
She's a nut. Her movement is not going to go anywhere. It's going to flatline.
It's
not going to be a blue wave. It's all it's going to be all ephemeral. It's going to be short-lived, just like Maxine Waters.
You know what the great thing is? That she's going around saying, I grew up in an area where your zip code predicts your future. Well, as it turns out, she grew up in the 5th most richest zip code in New York State. For all of her talk from I grew up in the Bronx, no, apparently she did not. She is a spoiled little rich kid.
Well, there should have been a giveaway right from the beginning. I mean, she's in politics. That dictates that you come from a fairly affluent background and all that kind of shit. And she goes, I come from a zip code that dictates where you're going to go in your future. Well, look at where you are now, sweetheart. You're not a poor bitch.
The amazing part of all of this is that, I don't have the article, I was looking it up, but her number one guy, the one who's been fueling her own campaign, is openly anti-Semitic and blames the Jews for everything. He is practically a Nazi, and she runs around calling everybody else Nazis. It's amazing.
Do you have the guy's name? Now I'm very curious.
Oh, I just, the problem was I heard it on the radio and I didn't catch his name, but I got the article and I'm like, oh, and I couldn't find it out. But apparently one of her big team people runs around saying that the reason that there's high prices in all of New York is because of the Jews. I mean, it's really amazing.
I'm on Team Cortez. I'm on Team Cortez now. So, yeah. Forget what I just said.
I don't get it. I don't get it. She runs around calling people Nazis when she's got one who works for her. That guy apparently ran for office like twice and failed each time, and now he's pushing this woman in. Here's the weird thing. If anybody who is as communist as this woman is had a chance of getting elected, it's in New York City. So I don't think... Go ahead.
I know what it is. I know what it is with the Nazi thing. I mean, like, it's the whole rationale about, like, we used to have this comedian in Australia called Steady Eddie, and he had cerebral palsy, so he was wobbling all over the joint, and, like, the whole thing was, his act was he was taking the piss out of people with disabilities because he had a disability so he could get away with it. And then there's the argument about, hey, I'm not racist, I have a black friend. Well, no. She can say what she wants about Nazis and shit because she's got a Nazi working for her.
You know what? That makes sense now. That really does.
Oh, it's just bullshitting, but hey, if it makes sense then.
Well, I think that this is a real acid test for the Democratic Party. And actually the best thing for the Democrats possibly be if she lost. Because it might finally put the kibosh on this whole communist movement inside the Democrats. But if she wins, they're going to crank it up to 11. They're going to think that she is the future. That if we could just were more communists, we'd win more. And no, it only works in cities like New York. Okay? It only works in cities like that.
Well, maybe it's not such a bad thing that the communists get sort of somewhere and all this kind of stuff, like maybe militarize and, I don't know, maybe start a little conflict and all this, because they're typically the big fans of the human wave attacks and stuff like that. Whole reason why machine guns and Cold War doctrine was all about inaccuracy and long-range fire and all this, because of the hordes of Russians coming across the plains of Europe and all this shit. So maybe sort of kind of like the Patton versus terrorist doctrine, you know, no cunt fucking won a war by dying for his country. You won a war by dying for, or making the other cunt die for their country. And then the terrorist doctrine of we will fucking die to the last man to fuck up the infidel. Well, let him do it. You know, maybe it's a kind of a thing like that where I just have absolutely forgotten where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? Where did I start off?
I think you just liked ranting about commies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. The commies and their mass fucking hordes of fucking massed waves and shit. So let them get like that, right? Because, you know, we've still got fucking automatic weapons and shit out there. Well, the Yanks do anyway. So let them do that and let them fucking have their mass wave attacks against all the fucking patriots and shit, and we can wipe the fuckers out, and then we don't have to worry about the cunts anymore.
Actually, you do have a bit of a point. The more violent they get, and they're getting very violent. They're calling for violence. We're going to get to Maxine later. But yeah, they're really trying. I mean, and which is a really bad side for their side because it's a sign you're losing. Because America is lazy. If you're trying to sway the majority of voters to your side, it's not going to work by saying, get up and fight. They're going to be like, no, I kind of just want to sit here and play video games. You're the ones who's bothering me. Trump's making me money. He cut my taxes in half. You know? So.
Oh, yeah, it's funny you mention that too. And, like, history does repeat itself because, like, if you have a look, right, we're in the midst of a very, very long war and all this. And you got people that are fighting against the government and the establishment and all this, and you had this shit back in the 60s, and that started off with peaceful fucking protest and all this kind of crap, and then it ended up with the Symbionese Liberation Army and the Weather Underground, where they started bombing places and stuff like that. Well, it all started with fucking people peaceful protesting and all this kind of stuff. I remember when they were starting to protest against the Iraq war out here. We had all these fucking bloody high school shooters fucking walking down the street with their tops tied around their boobs and fucking written on their bellies was "Make love, not war." And they asked me about my opinion about the war. I picked up the paper and showed them the picture, and I said, "None of these sluts would ever want to fuck me, so I might as well go kill a towelhead."
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's true, but
That's
fucking, they
so
got to put their money where their mouth
awful.
is, so, or at least me cock anyway.
And
Party.
Vardy. Okay. Any thoughts from anybody else? I mean, you had a nice rant there. We got to move on soon.
No. Well, just real quick though, like you got the Antifa and shit nowadays. Protest. And you got Antifa and stuff running around trying to force their point, and you got the white supremacists or so-called white supremacists trying to prove their point and all this kind of stuff. So it went from peaceful protest to this, that, and the other thing. History has repeated itself.
I'm not sure if it's going to get quite to that level because we got a lot more information now, but we'll have to see. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Gwendy or Forbidium, anything you want to mention?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm basically second everything what you said. Yeah, I think these violent protests and things, I mean, it's just so commonplace now. I really think nothing of it. It's most people, like most normies, that is, they view it with contempt. I think they think that the people out there actually engaging in violent acts is they're nuts. Essentially, that's what people think, and I really think that it'll only.
What is it tonight with the internet? Hey, Mad Dodge.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Forbidium, you roboed out.
Oh shit! Did I? Okay.
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's see. I'm gonna try closing like one of my tabs.
There's only room for one robot. Thank you.
Gotcha. Only one
I've been
R2D2.
roboting out.
Well, actually, Oh, hold on one sec. I lost it. Okay, there we go. Speaking of violence, we have the alleged newsroom shooter sued Capital Gazette for defamation. For all these people are running around saying Trump's violent rhetoric against the media is what caused him to go in there and shoot up the place. No, the guy got a bad article about him back in 2011 and he never let it go. Okay, this guy has hated that newspaper for like 6 years. So it's kind of hard to blame Trump for this, but they want to. They so want to blame Trump for this. It's all Trump's fault that this guy went and shot up a place that he had a grudge against for 6 years. No, that's not the case. The case is that the media has been doing a really good job of being deceptive. They haven't been lying. They've been deceptive. And the problem is people will forgive lies. They really will. They really don't like being tricked. So when you say a truth, but you say it in a way that makes somebody think something that other than what the truth actually is, people hate that. They get angry about that. Nobody likes to be deceived when they figure it out. So, in my opinion,
like NPR.
Oh no, it's the Capital Gazette from East Bumblefuck somewhere.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. No, I'm saying that this is why I like stuff like NPR. That's considered like when tested out is one of the most unbiased like news places that you can get shit from.
When they're doing the news, I agree with you, but when they do their special programs, no. I mean, like here in Syracuse.
Opinion, but we all know that.
Oh yeah, but when it comes to their opinion stuff, oh my God, it's like every day here in Syracuse, Monday through Friday at noon, they have an entire hour about feminism.
Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll agree with you 100% on that. When it comes to their actual opinions, God, they are very, very far left leaning. But when they're reporting the news, they stay on.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. When you have a place like, a shooting like this at the newspaper, and it turns out that it's not a far-right nationalist, then they're going to sweep it under the rug, just like the guy that shot at Rand Paul what, a year ago? I mean, nobody talks about the congressional shooting. They were trying to assassinate congressmen and senators, people. Nobody talks about it anymore. Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, I agree 100% on that. It's because the new I don't understand what the news is trying to do. I mean, what result are you trying for? That part of me wants to go, if you just told me what you wanted to do, I'd actually help them. You know, just so they could achieve something, but it's like whatever they try to do, they fail. They trip on the finish line. They shoot themselves in the foot. They say, look at these horrible children. Yes, that picture of the tinfoil children, that's from 2014. That was Obama's doing. Okay? We've convinced Trump to back down. And now he's going to keep children with families. What do you mean that means the children stay in jail? Well, that's why the children were separated. You know, I mean, it's like they just keep making things worse.
Well, no, and how about all the children that are separated from families every day thanks to the DHS system or CPS, whatever you want to
That's
call
a whole nother can of worms, though. That's comparing.
Yeah. That's on a state-by-state basis.
There's outrage in one area, and there's no outrage in the other at all. Especially when it comes to like men's rights, when it comes to custody and stuff. There's many separations of children. And we're talking about separating children from their parents. I believe it's the same issue.
I get your point.
I don't agree.
Anything else on this topic before? Well, no, I mean, I understand that superficially that what he's talking about is if you're complaining about children being separated from parents, you should complain about all instances of children being separated from parents. But then you start going, well, there's nuance. And they go, well, if you think there's nuance over there, why is there nuance over here?
Right. Yeah, no.
That's the point I think he's getting. Anyway, anything else on this before moving on?
Oh, just one thing real quick. Gwendy, whatever the hell you're doing, keep doing it because you're not roboting anymore. In fact, you're really, really key.
Any rate, I thought this one when I saw it was just something that popped up on the feed here. Denver Pride Fest bans local men's right group. Especially since, I think half the men's group is gay. It's just when you're sitting there going, wow. So if these people had labeled themselves as a gay rights group, it'd be okay. But because they're a men's rights group, even though most of them are gay, you ban them. The men's rights movement has a really bad PR problem, I guess. Wow. Any thoughts before moving on? I just wanted to mention it in passing as one of those holy crap things that I read.
God, I'm glad I just live in a grey world where, fucking sex and people's orientations and identifying as a Xantrotti battle cruiser isn't really much of an issue.
I think that about sums it up here. Anyway, moving on. Disney is done taking risks with Star Wars directors. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. Not for one moment. I don't. The franchise needs to be burned to the ground for the good of any franchise else out there. This needs to be made an example of. Thoughts?
Well, I did hear a rumor that they're actually considering doing The Last Jedi.
Oh, they will be doing one more movie. They got rid of all the expanded movies that were of secondary characters because, well, let's face facts here. Solo, is the first Star Wars movie ever to lose money. It's incredible. You actually have to work at that. But yeah, they're going to finish the trilogy no matter what. Because they figured the main movie will still make money. But they said, we're going to find proven veteran talent. I don't believe it. I believe that all the talent in Hollywood is pretty much corrupted at this point. I don't know if anybody could probably pull it off. Any thoughts before moving on? And somehow I lost the internet. Okay, hold on a second. I hope I'm still there. Hey, Campbell, are you hearing me at all? My Discord crashed too. Great. Update failed? What do you mean update failed? Oh my God, did they try to update? I do not believe it. Discord is down? I must kill. Crap. Yeah, I'm with you, Gwendy. Mother effing. Okay. Not sure what to do. Give me a second here, guys. We'll see if we can't get things going, and if we can't, I'll stop and pause until Discord revives, I guess. Okay, let's try and get Discord going again. Why are you checking for updates? Do not check for updates! I don't give a crap about updates! Screw the updates! Hey there, Tom. It's Bob from down the hall. Something doing. You may have noticed that I'm a zombie now. Could you please let me in? Try the web. Good thinking. Bad gateway. Not good. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Hey Tom, it's Bob from the office down the hall. It's good to see you, buddy. How have you been? Things have been okay.
Little musical interlude while we try to figure things out.
I'm a zombie now. I really wish you'd let us in. I think I speak for all of us when I say I understand why you folks might hesitate to submit to our demand. But here's an FYI, you're all gonna die screaming. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable, I mean no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here, maybe we should compromise. If you open up the doors, we'll all come inside and eat your brains. life locked inside a mall. Maybe that's okay for now, but someday you'll be out of food and guns, and you'll have to make the call. I'm not surprised to see you haven't thought it through enough. You never had the head for all that bigger picture stuff. But Tom, that's what I do, and I plan on eating you slowly. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable, I mean no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here, maybe we should compromise. You open up the door, we'll all come inside and eat your brains. I'd like to help you, Tom, in any way I can. I sure appreciate the way you're working with me. I'm not a monster, Tom. Well, technically I am. I guess I am. Got another meeting, Tom. Maybe we could wrap it up. No, we'll get to common ground somehow. Meanwhile, I'll report back to my colleagues who were chewing on the doors. I guess we'll table this for now. I'm glad to see you take constructive criticism well. Thank you for your time. I know we're all busy as hell, and we'll put this thing to bed when I bash your head open. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable, I mean no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here, maybe we should compromise. You open up the doors, we'll all come inside and eat your brains.
Well, we gave it a little time there, hoping that Discord could fix it. And Discord is not working on the internet, nor is it working anywhere else. So you guys, if you want to sit and chat and make comments as I do this solo, that'd be fine. Or we can end it here and maybe try and pick it up tomorrow night. But that's kind of inconvenient for a lot of people. So we might just have to say that the EU censored us and then blame Russian hackers. Thoughts? Yeah, we could try something else on another day because I'm just watching that little Discord thing go spin, 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 spin. I didn't even get to the interesting things. Well, I'm going to go over it real quick here, just shotgun it, and we'll save the rest later. Well, remember Mazal? They're got a 50 million shortfall thanks to all of their social justice warrior bullshit. I hate them, and I hope the place burns to the ground. And if you're interested in what I think about it, go look into my archive of my videos, and way, way, way back, they came out with a video that was basically an advertisement for Mazal that involved nothing but scantily clad women. I mean, the irony was just palatable, and I made a very interesting commentary video, so go take a look at that sometime. And welcome to France. Oh, come on, load. What is the... You know, I just checked my speed. My speed is like best it's ever been, and it's... Is there like a I don't know, a denial of service attack across the... I can't even load from my own computer? What the hell? I wanted to talk about the Indian man who prays to a photo of Donald Trump every day. I thought that one was great. Oh, here we are. French butchers request police protection from violent vegan activists. Yeah, Discord's the one that's down. I've got it set to keep checking every 30 seconds, but it's not going anywhere. Wow, I've seen the downside to using Discord. Now, I know why some people go with, what is it, the live stream. Yeah, we can try Google Hangouts. God, I've never started a Google Hangout before, though. Hold on a sec. Let me go and see what I can turn up with. Problem is, I don't... Well, maybe I could. Give me a second. Okay, let's see. Put the invite in the link. If you guys get here, I should be able to transfer it through that way. Fortunately, I'm going to have to use my gaming account. You guys get the link? Nobody? I'm trying to throw up the Google Hangouts. So there's the link in the chat. Okay, cool. Just making sure that you got something. Bring in the potatoes, huh? Is the link even working? I'm just curious. Oh, well, I'll blow through this real quick, and if by the end people have joined me, we'll go back and do it, but otherwise, it's probably going to have to be an end tonight. Well, I'm just going to jump to the one that I wanted to talk about, and then we'll probably have to call it a night. I'm not sure what tree mail is, Gwendy. That's the problem. I don't know if I ever got your email. You know what? I just lost the groove, to be honest here. I'm going to make one final attempt. One sec. You know what? I think at this point we're just going to have to call it quits. Because I don't know what the hell happened to Discord, but we're going to have to discuss what to do in case this ever happens again. We actually got to plan it out ahead of time. So I will, when Discord comes back up, we're going to go through this and we're going to take like a policy meeting or some shit. Hornet's Nest work well? Yeah, for kicking. Good plan. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits here. It's been real, and it hasn't been fun. This has been real awful. I'm blaming EU and Russian hackers. Those bastards obviously knew that we were onto them, and we're going to help fight with UKIP against, you know, whatever. Oh, wait. Hey, yeah, I can hear you. What's up? Hey, Campbell, can you hear him? You freaking kidding me? Discord just came back, the bastards. Okay, here's what we're doing. I posted the link to the Google Hangouts in Discord, and I'm just going to stick with Discord because I'm not trusting Discord tonight. And actually, you sound better. Okay, well, it's in Discord now, so if you guys get onto Discord, Discord will go from there. And right now, oddly enough, it's sounding a lot. I don't think the problem was Gwendy's connection. I think it was Discord, because you're coming through. You sound perfect. We might have to start using this. I don't know. We're going to have to come up with something new, but we'll stick with Google Hangouts for now. Maxine Waters. What a horrible looking woman. I don't actually believe she's real. I think she's a lizard person who skinned a black woman and is wearing her. We got a Gwendy. Actually, you're still roboing. Oh, wait. Campbell isn't. One sec. You mean the OBS isn't streaming? Hey, Campbell, the OBS isn't streaming? Oh, you can't hear them. But the output should be going straight there. Why isn't it going through? Okay, I'm inputting it through channel 2, so you should be speaking to channel 2. You're not making any noise. Why aren't you making any noise? God, I can hear. Oh, I gotta wait to fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it.
They blow up.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I get it now. It should be working now.
Oh my god.
Wow,
you hurt me with your words.
Okay. Now it's coming through. Now I got it fixed. Okay. Christ, I'm not crutch. This sucks.
Oh, good.
You know what really sucks is that I've got the ability to make a woman
Vacuums?
say, "Oh my god," from the other side of the world, but I can't do it within 5 fucking feet of me. And I can make a moment.
Oh god, help.
The crazy voices are back. Speaking of crazy voices, we have Maxine Waters, who made a call for Democrats to hound people who worked for Donald Trump, you know, when they go to eat, and to harass them at their jobs and to terrorize children. I liked, who was that actor who said that Donald Trump's son should be, or grandson should be like locked in a cage.
Son, he doesn't have any grandkids.
Oh, okay, I didn't know, but I'm sorry, but that sounds pretty crazy to me. You know, nobody, if you're trying to win votes, that doesn't work. So.
No, well, I mainly remember this bloody idiot from when she got up in front of the cameras and went, "We've got to ban these assault rifles with the butt stock and the rear-mounted flash suppressors and the 30-round clip magazine caliber thingy-bobbly doodles," and she sounded like a complete fucking spastic. Now, this is what I reckon, right? It says Maxine Waters confronts death threats. "If you shoot at me, you better shoot straight." Well, this is what I reckon, right? I reckon every person who doesn't like her with a gun that wants to shoot her should use a 22 and just fucking skin the bitch, right? Just wing her. And every time she goes, "How come I said shoot straight?" And then they can use the argument of, "Well, you decided to ban our forward stock 30 caliber magazine, clip magazine, bullet chambered thingy bobs with the rear flash suppressors and sniper scopes and all that. So we can't fucking hit you straight." Yeah.
Well, actually, she does says if you, what is it that she said? If you shoot at me, you better shoot straight. So.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that was the whole point of that little spiel.
I just don't get what she thinks she's going to accomplish. I mean, I don't know, Gwendy, you tell me, does this appeal to you?
Well, is euthanasia illegal in her state?
Oh my god. I can't handle you sometimes. I just need you to know this.
Well, she's kind of asking for it, isn't she?
I mean, death threats.
See, here's the thing. I don't actually believe she's gotten any death threats. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a moment. And the reason why I don't think she's gotten any death threats is because these Democrats do this all the time. There have been death threats. Okay, where is it? Where's the evidence?
Yeah, and she's saying, if you're going to shoot at me, shoot straight. She's not exactly saying, don't shoot at me at all.
I mean, there have been people on her Twitter sitting there
okay,
saying shit and stuff.
She's
just saying.
not sort of saying, yeah, don't shoot at me. No. She's saying, well, if he's gonna, I can't stop you, but please just make it quick. I reckon she's trying to get euthanized without being fucking done for it.
Well, I have to go with Donald Trump on this one. She is making herself the face of the Democratic Party.
Maybe she forgot her meds.
I don't know. I just think that it's... I don't know. I don't know how this is going to help the Democrats. I mean, why? And they're very weakly trying to... They say, no, you shouldn't say this sort of thing. But, it's perfectly understandable why anybody would flip out like this, considering what Donald Trump has done. That's not an apology. That's blaming the victim.
I've got an even bigger question for you, Bob, though. Like, you'd be able to answer this for me. Like, how is this helping the Democrats? How is keeping her on for this long helping the Democrats?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but... Oh, well, moving on here. This one I wanted to talk about. Indian man prays to photo of Donald Trump every day. There's a guy in the remote village of Khon in India. 30-year-old farmer prays to a photo of U.S. President Donald Trump several times a day.
That's weird.
Yeah, but there's also a guy in India,
too,
that believes that if he bathes in cow shit fucking 3 times a day, he'll live forever.
I mean, wasn't there a lady that was all about bathing in virgin blood for a minute?
Well, while we're on the subject of India, the biggest thing that I have, the biggest thing about food I have in the world is where it says traditional Indian cuisine, because I kind of know what the traditional aspect of that really actually dictates. Now, you just imagine this, right? You know, over in India, just next to the Ganges, you got Drippy Nipple comes out of his little mud hut, and he's like, "Oh, lordy,
Oh my
lordy
God,
me!
stop.
Whoops, the curry from last night is coming out very, very quick. I must go down to the river." And they splash with their left, and they splash with their right, and they scrape with their left, and then they go back up to their little mud hut, and then they grab their little pot, and they go back down to the Ganges, where 100,000 other cunts further up the river have already shat in too, and then they go and grab the water to make their food. That's your traditional Indian cuisine. No, thank you very
Stop.
fucking much. So
That
yeah,
is
like
so bad.
Oh no,
So
I've
that's
got
what-
something worse here. Do you know why he
No.
worships Donald Trump? He worships
Why?
Donald Trump because he doesn't really know much about him or his policies, but he does know that once he appeared on WWE, so he must be really strong. Yes, that's right. This guy saw him on WWE, and now Trump is his god. Awesome.
I saw Anna
Why?
Nicole Smith on WWE once, and she's fucking dead. So, but that doesn't mean shit.
He is able to channel the dragon energy.
Yes, my curry farts can
If
kill
he
a
gathers
cow
all
at
the Dragon
200
Balls.
yards.
I want to see Donald Trump with Dragon Ball Z. I think it would be amazing. He's got the hair for it. He's got the hair.
I mean, I'm sure you could do 6 episodes of just yelling, ah, ah, ah.
I want to see Trump Super Saiyan. I want to see Trump go Super Saiyan.
Trump
That
Super
would be
Saiyan would be the
amazing.
funniest goddamn thing. That would just be awful.
No.
Why?
My telemarketing skills are more than 9,000.
Stop.
I've got something really cute.
Oh. What the fuck is that red dot? Their fucking teleporting thing. I push the red dot on my forehead and teleport away. Wing, 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 wing.
You've been watching too much Dragon Ball Z. So now we're going to watch a picture of a cute kitten. You see
I've
the cute
never
kitten?
actually watched Dragon Ball Z ever, actually, funnily enough.
This is made entirely out of felt and wool. That is not a real kitten.
The racist ones.
You hear me?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, the pictures wouldn't come up
Oh my
with the
gosh.
files.
That's not real?
That's not real. He made it out of wool.
Where is it?
What do you mean burn it? Don't burn it. Look at how cute
No,
it is. So
I said, where is
tiny.
it?
I'm sorry.
Not
I'm
you,
floored.
Campbell.
I've dealt with a lot of kittens because I worked at a cat shelter for many years. And I am
sake,
absolutely
there we go.
floored. The head is a little too big. The head is a little too big.
No,
It is not proportionate. But
That's
besides the head being slightly
You're not
too big,
proportionate.
it's amazing. It might be the camera angle though.
Hang on, creates incredible. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. For some reason, I thought it said Japanese artist creates incredibly racist wool felt animals. I'm thinking, what the fuck were they doing? Like the Al Jolson blackface?
But
You have a problem with fake furry kittens? Apparently Campbell is afraid of wool kittens.
apparently.
He
Okay,
doesn't
we already
like hairy
talked about
pussies.
UKIP, so
He doesn't like hairy pussies. He'd be useless in the 70s.
here we go. Pence urges Latin American countries to isolate Venezuela. Now, I'm not sure if you know about this, but Trump apparently struck some deal with Saudi Arabia. They're going to be pumping out an extra 2 million barrels of oil, start bringing the oil prices down. And then he's like telling the rest of South America.
I heard that's a crock of baloney, and also they can't do that.
Well, we'll see what happens, but even if he's trying to do it, basically it'll be a 1-2 punch to kick Venezuela in the ass. Because Venezuela was like, oh my God, oil prices, they're finally going up. Maybe we can actually make a profit. And it appears that Donald Trump's trying to put a kibosh on that so this country finally dies. We'll have to see whether or not he actually gets the oil output he's looking for. I don't know. I mean, Saudi
Well,
Arabia is
actually,
kind of untrustworthy, but that said.
actually, no, it's a good way of doing this because, well, Venezuela's oil is a commodity that's readily available and can be used. Now, oil prices are up at the moment. Now, if you decide to go and put it competitively, all OPEC will do is just bump their prices up or bump their prices a little bit lower just to make themselves a bit more competitive. If Trump comes along and just drops Venezuela's prices to the point where everyone is stupid not to buy it, because you're looking at economy of volume here. Okay, so what? They're selling it at bargain bottom prices, but they're selling the quantity enough that when you decide to jump it up a couple of cents, everyone's still going to be buying your shit, and they're going to be buying it en masse. OPEC, on the other hand, are going to lose out, and they're going to lose out greatly, and that's going to force them to become competitive with Venezuela. So that's a pretty good tactic. That might actually bring the global oil prices down quite a bit. I can't actually see it happening, but it would be a good fantasy.
Well, actually, oddly enough, I don't mind the higher oil prices because America has access to a lot of oil. It's just expensive to get out of the ground. So when the prices get up high enough, American domestic oil output improves. So I don't think
actually,
you're never going to see it really, really spike like it did a long time ago. We've got a lot of capacity if we access it.
well, actually, now I've got a stupidly economic car. I'd rather the oil prices go back to where they were back in the 1990s, like 50 cents a litre in Australia, because it's now $1.50 a litre.
Great.
Yeah, I'd rather go back there. So it's like, fucking $20 could fill me tank again.
I miss that.
Yeah.
I remember when it was 99 cents a gallon here in America. God, I'm old. But at any rate, Trump is also giving aid to the countries around Venezuela to handle the influx of refugees. So I'm thinking that he's taking a rather indirect way of handling Venezuela, and he seems to be trying to ramp it up. We'll have to see whether or not he can actually do anything to fix Venezuela, but, it's nice to see him. He's actually trying to do something.
Yeah, well, there's no point landing troops and trying to prop up governments and all that kind of stuff, because we all know that doesn't work, especially if you prop up the wrong government. And then you've got to have someone who's going to be tough enough and smart enough and what's the cavalier enough to keep people under their belts and all this kind of shit to actually fix the country over the long term. And that does involve a long period of time of tightening your belts and all this kind of stuff. I've said to everyone I speak to about like the conditions here. Oh, how come everything's so expensive and all this kind of shit? Well, if you want everything to go back to a way that fucking we're making money hand over fist and cunts are buying stuff off us, well, we've got to go and do the same thing as China. Oh, but we don't want to give up our liberties and all this kind of shit and our big screen TVs and giant houses. Well, then stiff shit, you're stuck where you are. Yeah. Get the point, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Any rate, anything else on this topic before moving on?
No.
Now I want to get Gwendy's opinion on this. We got that guy who's retiring from the Supreme Court, and Trump's going to have a second nomination in less than 2 years, which is an unprecedented rate for nominations to the Supreme Court for a president. I was wondering what Gwendy thought about this. You being the most liberal among us.
You have terrible timing.
I'm an expert at it.
I know.
Why were you trying to squeeze out a quiet fart or something?
No, I was trying to pee.
Oh.
So I was muted. God, jeez, you're so gross.
Well, close enough.
He's an expert at it. He's an expert at it. Your thoughts on the second nomination to the Supreme Court for Trump?
I knew it was one of those holes.
I'm so done with you. I quit.
No, continue.
I'm not even sure where to start. I don't really know who he has position at all, like who he's got to pick from or whatever. I don't really know anything about that particular justice that's retiring.
Well, he was kind of a swing
I have a bad
guy.
feeling.
He was 80% conservative, 20% liberal, if you look at his actual voting record. And so with him standing down, it's a surmise that he really wanted to push forward the whole gay marriage agenda. And since he succeeded, it is believed that he went and talked to Trump and basically made a deal that said, I will step down now in your presidency, but you better make sure that my legacy is continued. So that is what is assumed to have happened. There's no proof of that. But the thing is the left has been going, we must oppose the person that Trump nominates. Except he hasn't nominated anybody yet. So how can you oppose somebody who doesn't exist yet? I was just wondering what your thoughts were.
I mean, what they're trying to say there would be, they're assuming that he's going to pick someone that's extremely conservative and it's going to lean more towards, the things that he would want or the agenda that he would push or whatever the fuck. But you can't really say anything until he picks somebody because, to be fair, he could just go completely the opposite direction. And, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put it past him, but I don't see it happening. So it's kind of up in the air.
I think the part that I think is actually freaking out Democrats the most is back in 2014. I don't know if you remember this, but the Republicans were holding up the nomination. And so the Democrats finally said, you know what? Screw this. And they used the nuclear option, which changed the rules permanently. So you don't need 60 votes anymore. You only need 51 to nominate someone. And I believe the response was, if you do this, you're going to regret it. And now here we are in 2018, and the Democrats are really regretting it because they're not getting hit just once, but twice in less than 2 years with nominations they really hate. So I was just wondering if that stood out to you at all. Any thoughts, Party, before moving on?
Nah, this is beyond me, man.
Wife and daughters hire hitmen to kill husband who did not allow them to wear jeans.
What?
An Indian woman and her 4 daughters have confessed to hiring contract killers to have their husband/father murdered because he refused to let them wear jeans. The lifeless body of Meharban Ali, a police sub-inspector, was found in a sewage canal in I can't pronounce this, on Sunday. Back over in India, the investigation began, and it didn't take long for local police to figure out the man's family may have been involved in the murder because of the closed circuit cameras that were installed in the area.
And now we go to for an instant live report from down near the murder site. Hello, we're talking to Drippy Nipple Rubber Titty for a live interview for what happened. Hello. I was going down to the river, the sewer farm, river, to get some breakfast water, and then I saw this body, and I thought, oh, yummy meat. I better report this to the police. Yes, thank you for that. We're back to you. Thank you. Next we have, it is a monsoon season, and everybody is going to get pissed on, yes, for sure.
Did you just go insane or something? I mean, like what? I don't even know what you're saying.
I heard everything.
Go back and listen to it.
I couldn't understand a word. You just.
Oh my god! I understood everything he said. Are you shitting me?
I'm sorry. I'm just listening to it. It's like he's just.
That was awful. Oh my god!
I don't know.
You are such a shit.
Not as bad as this woman. Woman poisons dozens of housewarming parties.
C3PO.
No, actually,
Stop talking.
we're hearing her just fine, Marty. Hold on. Woman poisons dozens at
You don't do
housewarming
this.
party trying to kill family who made fun of her cooking. Again, India. Something about India today. They're just going nuts.
Hang on.
Wait,
Are you sure it wasn't the
wait,
cooking
wait,
that
wait,
killed
it's
her?
the water.
Because- Yeah, yeah,
Get some water.
you sure it wasn't the cooking that killed her because of the traditional Indian cuisine?
You're such a dick.
This
Oh,
woman,
yes.
in
Holy
an attempt-
Jesus.
Poisoned-
again. We're
This
talking
woman,
to
I mean,
Hammer Slappy.
Stop.
What is Oh, I ate the dinner.
Let Bob talk, I swear. I
No,
will come
give me-
down there.
give me a second here, because this isn't that funny. It's because in her attempt to kill just her husband and a few of her in-laws, she put 88 people in the hospital, and 5 of which died.
Mm.
Like, she's like created a
Jesus.
feast to, because people made fun of her cooking, and so she basically almost wound up mass murdering like 100 people. I mean, 88
We're
survived, but
probably-
Jesus.
Fucking right though. Oh, fuck knuckle! Your fucking cooking is going to kill us all one day. A piece of tappa.
I mean,
Holy shit! It killed everybody. Holy shit! They were right.
Well, oh no, she only killed 5 people, and she missed the one she was trying to kill. How does 100 people eat your food? Like, what the hell? I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is about India, but you talk, I mean, we get our mass shootings over here, but I don't recall any mass poisonings.
Bhopal.
Holy shit, the maximum punishment she faces for her crime is the death penalty. Jesus Christ.
Well, you killed
yeah,
5
well-
people. I mean, I can understand
yeah.
how,
Life ain't worth much over
I
there.
don't think she intended to kill them, though, did she? Or did she just want to make them sick?
I
No,
think
she
she
wanted
just
to
wanted to
kill
kill her
3.
family. She didn't, I don't know, but using
Yeah, still,
snake
she wanted to-
venom's a bad idea.
So wouldn't that technically be manslaughter?
No, well, still 3 of them still fucking.
Well,
murder.
it's India. India's got an entirely different set of rules.
Yeah, either way though,
That's
she still
true.
only killed 3 people. So like 3 or 5. So, like 5 is like,
She killed
oh
5.
yeah, no, kill the bitch. Like 3 is like, oh no. Cunts are dead.
That's fucking bananas.
BNANAS.
Police dog hailed as hero for performing CPR on his human partner. Apparently, they
Yeah.
trained a dog to perform CPR in Madrid.
I've seen this. I've seen.
Yeah.
No, they have that here too. There was a puppy. I saw it. It was cute.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't look like it's got really much enough weight to cause enough pressure on the rib cage, though.
Well, yeah, but he's going to get bigger. It's just a
You're not
puppy
trying to
right now.
break them.
Yeah,
Well,
they
yeah,
train the
correct.
dog so he starts doing this later.
Hey, look at the baby. Oh my god, he's so cute.
Yeah, now seeing it and put like that, yeah, you got a point. I just sort of initially thought, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'd kind of like to see it, and then when I saw it, like, no, and
Where's your baba?
okay, yeah, put it like that, okay.
Look at the puppy. Just look at him. He's just so yellow.
Hey.
He's trying his hardest.
What's got 5 legs, a waggly tail, and a giant fucking grin?
What?
A happy
No,
pit bull.
don't.
Okay.
God damn it. Why would you? Why?
What?
Okay, two more, then we'll wrap it up for the night because it's just been a
All right, hang on. What's got 6 legs and would kill you if it fell out of a tree on you?
What?
Is
Pool
it a
table.
koala? Oh my god!
Okay, go.
Radical plan to split California into 3 states earns spot on November ballot. We missed this a couple of weeks ago, but I thought it was worth noting that they actually are going to vote on it. So
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
it's going to
come
win
on.
because it's like whenever it's come up here in New York. New York City outvotes the rest of us and goes, no, we don't want to lose our slaves. To lose upstate New York would cost us our slaves. I mean, constituents. The fact of the matter is so 80. I think it's 80 cents of every dollar goes down to New York City from upstate, and it's probably the
now
same.
you're a robot.
Yeah, it's probably the same thing over in California. But if you're in California, vote yes. Vote yes. California needs to be chopped up into pieces. Save yourself.
Yeah, it's like I said the other week. There's Los Angeles, San Francisco, and the rest of the place. It's already in 3 different joints.
And I mean, I will say this: if it got chopped up, you guys get more seats in the Senate. Okay, so you get that in exchange for saving yourselves. Okay, so we'll take the hit of the extra, liberal senators in exchange for you guys, getting to save yourselves. So if you're in California, vote yes, and with any luck, maybe we'll figure it out after we've chopped the place up. Any comments on this before moving on?
Just sounds retarded.
And last but not least, Sweden's new sexual consent law comes into effect, in which case you cannot have sex with anybody without explicit consent, which means you have to get a verbal disclaimer approving sex, or you're committing a crime and it's rape.
Now,
Already do that?
I have one very pertinent question.
Oh, God.
Shoot.
No.
Has this been relayed in Arabic in any form?
I don't know. I know it's been translated into English for us, but that's about it.
Because I'm just saying, if it hasn't, this whole thing is fucking useless.
Oh, I don't think this law was directed towards immigrants because they don't have any respect for immigrants and think they're, too stupid to read.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they're pretty
condescending. They never rape anybody. No. They just it's only the Swedish natives that just go around dressed like them, and then give the girls hallucinogens and shit like that, get them drunk and say, "Look, I'm a refugee," while they're banging them sideways.
No, the term is sexual emergency. That was the term that was used. It was a sexual emergency, so they had to be forgiven.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the concept before, only in Sweden, but
I'd prefer to use this one, where God works in mysterious ways. If I ever got caught raping some Sheila, I'm just going to turn to some cunts like, "Oh, I'm mysterious."
What?
Never mind.
you need to up your dosage a little bit, dude, because you are totally random tonight. I'm just saying here, you are jumping around a lot. It's amusing to watch, I'm just saying, but considering this was the last article, just wanted to mention it a little. I'm having a hard time following you tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's partly the booze, but there's also something going on in their head. I'll tell you what's happening after.
That explains things, the booze. Okay. Well,
partly the booze.
At this point here, I think we're done. It's been kind of painful tonight, what with the interruption and everything. So it's been real, and it's been bleh. And it's been real bleh. So any closing thoughts or words before we head out?
Boobies.
Let's end on that.